Hi everyone, this is Miss Bina and this is my son Ovid and this is
Mr. Spud!
Today we're going to talk to you guys about how to grow potatoes in containers. Now why would you want to do that? Well, you might want to grow some potatoes, but you don't have a big backyard. You just want to have a few potatoes growing that you can have on your deck or patio that you can go check on and harvest whenever you want. So you can actually grow quite a few potatoes in a container like this. This is about, you need to be able to put about 3 gallons of soil in your container in order to grow potatoes. And this container would grow up to about 3 potato plants. Remember, they get pretty big, so you want to give them plenty of room to grow in. So, say you've decided, yes, I would like to grow some potatoes in a container. Well, the first thing you want to do is choose your potato to grow. So, Ovid, you like potatoes, right?
Yeah, they're my favorite food.
Okay. So what kind of potatoes would you choose to put in your container?
Well, I would choose these weird yellow ones, but there's a very wide variety with red and these and
purple ones or blue
purple,
potatoes, purpley blue potatoes.
And this one.
Okay. That one looks a little bit like Mr. Spud, huh? Okay, so when you choose your potatoes, you can go ahead and grow potatoes from the grocery store. If you choose to do this, please buy organic potatoes. There's a little problem with potatoes that are grown in the conventional way, that means not organic potatoes, in that they are sprayed with this thing called a sprout inhibitor. It means it stops them from sprouting. So you definitely, if you grow potatoes from the store, buy the ones that are organic. And then another thing is, so the second option is you could actually go to the seed and feed store or your local nursery and buy what are called seed potatoes. Now these seed potatoes would already be sprouted and they would be guaranteed to be disease-free. So if you choose to go that way, you can, but you can also just grow them from store-bought potatoes. We've done that quite a few times and we have had no problems growing potatoes in the past, right guys?
Yes. No problem.
No problems. Potatoes love to grow and they're easy to grow. So when you get your potatoes going, the first thing you want to do is sprout them. So in order to sprout your potatoes, you find like an egg carton, maybe, something that will hold them. And you put them in a place that is not too hot, not too cold, and out of direct sunlight. You want light, but not direct sunlight, not sun shining right on it. So, and they need to be, so it's going to need to be about 40 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. 45 to 60, sorry. All right, so that's choosing your potatoes and sprouting your potatoes. So when you're sprouting, remember, potatoes have eyes, and out of these eyes come the little sprouts. And when your little sprouts get to be about this high, then it's time to plant them. So Ovid, once you're ready to plant and you're looking for a container, what should we know about our container? What should we do about our container?
This is something about containers that you need to know. It's not like you can get away with using a super small container. They need to hold at least 3 gallons, or preferably more. And they need to have a great drainage system. See all those little holes in the bottom?
Lots of little holes. I drilled lots of little holes in there so that the water could flow right through. You want to keep your potatoes not too wet, not too dry. So you definitely have good drainage, and you can use a bucket or you can use a burlap bag. So you can use a big range of containers. All right, so step 3, Ovid, plant your potatoes. Okay, remember, eyes up, eyes up. That means you want your sprout that you put in when you plant it needs to be facing up. So Ovid, how many inches of soil should we put in our container before we set our potatoes in there? How many inches? 4 inches. That's about as long as, let's put our hands up. That's about 4 inches right here, from the tip of his finger all the way up here. We measured already, so we know that's about 4 inches. So you put about 4 inches of soil in there, set your potatoes in, and remember, you want your potatoes all to be about the size of an egg or smaller. Because look at this potato. This potato here has lots of sprouts on it. How many sprouts do you see on there, bud? So each sprout is going to become a potato plant in itself. So you can cut this potato up into lots of little sections and plant every little section of potato, every little thing. So this potato, did you count those? How many did you see? There's quite a few. Let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 sprouts just on this potato. So you don't necessarily want to plant this whole potato. You could cut off cut off quite a few and then just plant them in there, about an egg size. Okay, so Ovid, how much soil once you've placed your potatoes in the container, how much soil above the potatoes?
The exact same. 4 inches.
Yeah, so about 4 inches. So, what do we do next, Ovid, for getting our potatoes to grow?
Well, as all botany lovers, plant lovers know, and a ton of other people do too, plants need water, not salt, water.
So we water and wait. And as the potatoes are growing, keep checking the soil and making sure that the growing potatoes are not coming up and being exposed to the light. You want to keep them under the ground. Why is that? Where's Mr. Spud, Ovid? What happened to Mr. Spud, and could you explain what happened to Mr. Spud?
You see, I got a potato sunburn.
All right, so what happens to potatoes when they get a sunburn?
They turn green. That promotes a chemical that's why they can't be eaten.
Yeah, and so when potatoes turn green, that makes them toxic and not good for us to eat. So we want to keep our potatoes below the soil so they don't see the sun and don't turn green. So we can say for sure that we will not be eating Mr. Spud because he is green and toxic to us. So Mr. Spud will just stay with us, right?
Hey, I'm just going to tell you something. Why do you guys get sunburned red and we get sunburned green?
I don't know. All right, so your potatoes are growing now, and they're getting pretty big, and you might poke your fingers in there and notice that they're making little baby potatoes. That's great. Now you can start harvesting your potatoes as they grow. You can just sort of be like, oh, I'd like to have a few potatoes for dinner or something. Get in there. You can harvest as they grow, and keep waiting for them to grow. And when your potatoes get to the point where they're making flowers, and to the point where making flowers and afterwards, that's when you can make your final harvest. So it should be easy to do in a bucket, right? All right, so you've harvested your potatoes. Remember to store your potatoes in a very well-ventilated place, cool and dry, and away from the sunlight. So maybe in a bag or a box in your closet, or a place that stays really cool. Needs to be about 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. What do you think, Ovid? Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
That's
Eat
right.
your potatoes!
Okay.
But don't eat me.
That's right.
I'm
all right.
toxic.
Bye, everybody.